Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to As Above, So Below, a rune and tarot divination for Monday, the 8th day of August 2022. Well, we have our Lion's Gate energy today. We'll talk a little bit about that here in the Esoteric Influences for today, but if this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not and you've come back, thank you. Nice to see everybody today. Having a little bit difficult time with the readings. I've done a couple of them and I haven't liked them. I dropped my cards on the floor twice. So it's like, well, I don't know. We'll see. One more time. If not, then I don't know. It's this one or nothing. I am going to stay with the runes that I have, though. I like them. Feels like that's... well, you know what? I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and start over with them. I had Nothies and I had Populous. But I was trying to connect them to the esoteric influences, and I don't know. It seemed to work, but we'll just start over completely. So let's go ahead, though, and look at the influences for today. We have an 8 numerology, but with the whole, and usually I just look at the day itself, that numerology, but with being at 8/8/2022, that's big. I'm going to talk about a little bit more about that in the body here of the interpretation, so I'll wait a little bit on that. Hagalaz is the Norn rune of the past. That's the Elder Futhark rune for today from the Esoteric Influences. So hail. It's also known as the witch rune. It's transformation within a fixed framework. Protection, another keyword for Hagalaz. Kata Draconis is the Geomancy rune for today, meaning endings, the dragon's tail. It's the south node of the moon. So karma, if you will. It's sort of the ego side of things. Caput Draconis is about the future, and it's a more higher self type of it's on the threshold, the upper kingdom and all of that. Well, this is the lower kingdom and terminating affairs and the harbinger of disaster, the exit with Kata Draconis. So really endings. Something's coming to an end today with some transformation possible. Let's see, the moon's in Sagittarius until it transitions to Capricorn at 11:39 this morning. So you're torn between taking care of routine tasks and exploring new opportunities. However, if you're in a leadership position with others, they may need your support and perspective today. If expectations from a close partner are an issue, listening to his or her needs could open up a whole new level of awareness that could transform your relationship today. Adaptability is key, especially if changes are necessary to gain a more balanced perspective. Remain objective as you reevaluate your focus so that you let go of any fixation you might have on purely self-motivated choices. Today's 8/8/2022 numerology involves Lion's Gate energy with both 8s, while the 2022 involves balance and reciprocity with the initial 20 or 2. And the cosmic builder energy with the master 22, which is profound soul level change. So it's a very powerful number, both with the 8s, the 2 8s, and then when you get into the cosmic builder energy, it really shows you, and I think it defines the 8s, where you need to be when you're manifesting from that level of inner strength. Has to be from a higher perspective, higher awareness perspective. If the energy of this date's used wisely, you can manifest opportunities that can truly enrich in your life, and you know, make your and maybe even those around you, you know, can benefit from whatever, you know, you're manifesting today. It just seems to really, there's just so much power to it all. Others will be affected by what you do, and so make it not an ego-based manifestation, really. Here we have Dagaz, one period ending and another beginning. And so again, with the Lion's Gate energy and the Master and the Cosmic Builder energy, you know, this is a chance to really manifest something wonderful today. Let's see what the Geomancy elemental runes will give us. I throw down 4 of them. I'm going to put them in the oh, well, it's the same as what I had just a bit ago. Populous. There it is. There. It's all passive influence. Fire, air, water, and earth is the order we put them in. It's all passive influences. And so you're basically following along with the crowd, which, or you could be dropping resistance, the ego's resistance. You could look at it that way as well. Let's just see, though, how the cards play out. And I'm going to move this esoteric influences off of my screen here. Just put it over there. Lately, I've been able to basically align the reading with at least some of what's been in the esoteric influences. And again, I've shuffled so much here today. I don't know. I'm just afraid if I shuffle anymore, I'm going to throw all the cards on the floor like I did. I've done it twice. It's weird. It's like, what is that trying to tell me? I know it's trying to tell me something. I'm just going to go ahead and take from the top. Well, we have I'm going to move the cards around here. We have 2 cards from the major arcana, the Moon and Justice, and then we have the 6 of Swords. Well, yeah, I'm going to leave it that way. We could read it with the 6 first, but let's not. Let's just go ahead and do it this way, and see where we come from. The Moon's about deception. Typically self-deception. It could mean deception from other people, though. But when you look at the dogs here, you're looking at the shadow side of self, or you're looking at the feminine side of self. You're looking at the masculine or projective. This could be the receptive. You could look at it in terms of shadow side of self and spirit. But generally, when you're on the horizontal plane, you're looking more at a different type of polarity. You're coming down this way, like this. I think this is the line that the dogs are really representing. Shadow side of self versus spirit would be this one here. I keep that handy for when I have the card judgment, because the angel Gabriel's not only blowing a horn, but he's got a flag that has a cross on it. And I think that that's really what the renewal and rebirth is all about, is realizing where you are on that axis, and are you reflecting higher self when you're in form, or are you given over purely to ego? Usually there's some sort of a balance there, but sometimes there isn't. And you can really see things, it manifests in terms of service to self versus service to others. So that's the axis I think that's on. But I think that this one's really about inner polarity and the rebirth that's necessary with the lobster. You're showing balance here with the 2 towers. You're showing a winding path that goes up into a mountain. So the challenges that are there, when you're trying to balance polarity, when you're trying to balance the receptive side of self with the projective side of self, it's the difference between dropping resistance to something and trying to assert yourself. That's another way of looking at that. But if we just look at this from the standpoint of self-deception, and we look at it in terms of the Degas rune, we could be letting go of self-deception here and manifesting a better sense of justice and fairness. This is balanced reason. Again, you're looking at balance here with the 2 towers and both sides of the equation here. The same with the towers or the pillars here. The Lady Justice is wearing a red robe. The drape behind is red. So there's a lot of power here, a lot of Mars energy that's in the center of this actual card of Libra. Here you see Libra represented by the scales. but there's tremendous power in remaining balanced. You see the yellow up here can indicate the sun or the light of spirit informing all of this. You see the sword of justice, the air element, if you will. So achieving some balance there and cutting through deception as well. So again, I think that there's an element of balancing yourself, the receptive side of self, with the projective side of self, cutting through your own self-deception here, to where that you have a better equilibrium. It can also mean legal decisions and legal issues, but I think in this case, especially with today's Lionsgate energy and Cosmic Builder energy, I think what we're really looking at here is balancing the coming into a better equilibrium, if you will, that doesn't engage in self-deception, that lets go of self-deception and moves into something that's a little more creative and a little more honest, that maybe incorporates other people into the equation versus simply your own self. So to do that, there has to be some level of transformation, and typically when we look at the rune de Gaz, the transformation happens in the center. It's like you stand on the precipice of that. With Kata Draconis, in a sense, you're letting go from the esoteric influences today. You're letting go of that lower vibratory energy that's getting you nowhere. That basically fosters self-deception. I mean, don't you think? And when you do that, you see, then you can move forward with a shift in perception. Here you have I view this as a young family. I mean, this could be a man who's simply ferrying these two, the mother and the child, across a icy body of water, a lake or whatever, a river, whatever it is. You can see the snow in the background on the trees and on, yeah, they're all on the trees. You don't see any buildings yet. But he's pushing them along through the water. You see 6 swords there pointing downward, sort of protecting them from the elements in a way. But I view this really as a shift in perception. Emotions are involved. Maybe it was emotion-based, where something has happened where, you know, maybe emotionally you've been deceiving yourself, and now you have come into a better equilibrium. You've cut through the deception of your own perceptions, and you've brought yourself into a little bit better balance. And with that, then you're ready to experience new things. And in this case, I think it's new perceptions. It also means a journey over water, but at the same time, where is the journey taking you? You know, you can't necessarily, generally speaking, when that happens, you're embarking upon a new type of experience. Now, populace could have to do with the fact that it's more than one person here. You've got potentially 3 people involved in that. And there's a certain level of flow to that, and they're flowing toward a new life, flowing toward a new level of perception, a new way of seeing things that allows them to let go of what was and embrace what's new. And then that's with de Gaz here as well. Again, where one period ends or one set of perceptions end, that then allows you to transform and move in a new direction. So it just tells me that basically what's been happening is that perhaps you've been feeling stuck in something where you can't really move out of it. And really it's your own perception that's been keeping you there. Once you gain a little bit better balance and move away from the idea of self-deception, you can then transform and move into something new that possibly involves other people, and I think that or at least affects other people. And I think with I'm just interpreting this as a family. I think that that's what's happening there. So it gives you the opportunity then to move forward in a new direction, after you've let go of things that truly are not serving you. I know that's sort of a thing that people say, like, gotta let go of everything that doesn't serve you. Well, but sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to examine how you've been seeing things, and is it really realistic, and is it holding you back from pursuing new opportunities? And with this Lion's Gate energy here, the eights are really about harmony and leadership and material recognition and approval. But it's also about inner strength, having the inner strength to pursue new opportunities, or to let your own light shine so that others can see you for who you are and the asset that you are. So if this is related to work or something, maybe within your current job, you've been reluctant to let people know who you are, and to let the powers that be, your supervisors, see the strengths that you do have and what you have to offer. Now suddenly you're willing to do that with this 8-8 energy, and that opens up new opportunities within your existing job. Or maybe you've been applying some other places, or you've been reluctant to, maybe, and now you're willing to do that. You're feeling this extra energy to go and manifest something new. And so you get your resume together, you start really thinking about, well, who am I? What strengths do I have to offer other jobs out there? And suddenly all of that seems to open up for you. And maybe the fear that you've had has been part of the self-deception. It's like, oh, I'm afraid to make a change, I'm afraid to move forward. So maybe today is just a day where you take advantage of this Lion's Gate energy and the 22 cosmic builder energy, and you're ready to try to manifest something new in your life, letting go of anything that any fear that's holding you back, which could be the self-deception angle of the moon. Bring yourself into a better alignment, see things realistically, exercise a little more balanced reason with it. And let the light shine in with the sun here above, as you see here with the yellow, and then move forward, irrespective of the challenges. Given that this is a snowy scene, there's a sense of challenge there, but they're persevering, aren't they? Because there's been enough of a shift in perception that's allowing them to embark upon a new life. And maybe that's the energy, maybe that's the message here today with both the numerology. And I normally, like I say, I will only look at the day itself, but you can't ignore the power of the 8-8 and then the 20 and the 22. There's really so much power there. And the 20 itself, when you reduce that to 2, and you're really looking at the balance of the Justice card, even though it's card 11. And again, that's a master level number as well. You have 11, you have 22 and 23, or not 23, 33. So you have awakening and illumination and enlightenment with the 11. You have the cosmic builder, where you're going to manifest something profound. And then the 33 you have is Christ consciousness, which is all about your perceptions coming from higher awareness and expressing that in everything that you do. So I think that you see you have a 9 and then you have a 6 here. So again, we're incrementing in 3s between the two, between the moon and the 6. But the 11, we're not going to factor that in because it's a master number. We're just going to leave that alone. So I'm not going to do a whole, let's see. Well, you come out with a 6 energy total if you don't look at the 11. But if you did, you'd have an 8. Wouldn't you? Yeah, 17. One and 7 is 8. So it all dovetails back to the Lion's Gate energy, doesn't it? I think this is really about again, dropping resistance to the self-deception. Just let it go, and realize that once you come into a better balanced view of yourself, you can then open the door to something new today. and manifest something new. So, well, that's interesting. Maybe this was I'm the other readings were just not the ones, right? This is the one, I think, especially for today. Well, I'm trying to relate it to the numerology. And again, normally I don't. It's a component maybe of the reading, but I just think that today's energy is so powerful. We have to do it that way. So I think that's it. I think we did it. Eventually, not too bad for a Monday. We have a full moon, I believe it is on, isn't it on, I think it's on Thursday, isn't it? Oh, come on. Why aren't you coming up? There you go. Yeah, on the 11th. It's full at 6:35 p.m. Looks like in Aquarius. So be aware of that, and we'll meet again on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Wednesday will be Maiden, Thursday will be Mother, and Friday will be Crone in the triple aspects of the full moon. So enjoy that. I think, don't we have also, I think on the 11th, also on the night of the full moon, we're going to have, I think the Perseids are at their peak that Thursday and Friday. So the moon's going to probably be a little bright for that, but you should still be able to see them. They're supposed to be like about 60 an hour or something, so that might be pretty cool to watch. We go out every night until the mosquitoes attack us and watch for different things in the sky. That's always fun to do. Last night we saw a rocket body come by. I have a flight radar app, and I have a star map app that tells me if there's, where the rocket bodies and where the satellites are. And so if something comes across and it's not a plane, we have to check and make sure that it's not something like that first. And then if it's not, then it's like, okay, we don't know what that is. So that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to do. We've been doing that for years, and it's the nights are so nice right now that it's nice to get out and do that. So we'll be out watching the Perseids and whatever else happens to fly by. So anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by, and click subscribe if you haven't. I'd love you to do that, and give it a like if you'd like to do that as well. That'd be appreciated. And come back again on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.